If small holes aren't fixed, then big holes will bring hardship. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Only two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. The only source of knowledge is experience. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Logic will get you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. If people are good only because they fear punishment, and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe, is as good as dead, his eyes are closed. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right, a single experiment can prove me wrong. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same. If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. Reading, after a certain age, diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. We still do not know 1,000% of what nature has revealed to us. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin, what else does a man need to be happy? Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. I am not only a pacifist but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. True religion is real living, living with all one's soul, with all one's goodness and righteousness. Before God we are all equally wise, and equally foolish. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. The environment is everything that isn't me. It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. The only real valuable thing is intuition. Heroism on command, senseless violence, and all the loathsome nonsense that goes by the name of patriotism, how passionately I hate them. The distinction between the past, present and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Never do anything against conscience even if the state demands it. Information is not knowledge. Force always attracts men of low morality. The fear of death is the most unjustified of all fears, for there's no risk of accident for someone who's dead. To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. An empty stomach is not a good political advisor. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and the mind. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. Love is a better teacher than duty. In order to be an immaculate member of a flock of sheep, one must above all be a sheep oneself. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. All religions, arts and sciences are branches of the same tree. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. Confusion of goals and perfection of means seems, in my opinion, to characterize our age. The unleashed power of the atom has changed everything save our modes of thinking, and we thus drift toward unparalleled catastrophe. I love to travel, but hate to arrive. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are even incapable of forming such opinions. I do not believe that civilization will be wiped out in a war fought with the atomic bomb. Perhaps 2/3 of the people of the earth will be killed. Politics is for the present, but an equation is for eternity. I never think of the future, it comes soon enough. We cannot despair of humanity, since we ourselves are human beings. I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share, it is time to go. I will do it elegantly.